£80,000, probably the most expensive globe that's ever been made, and it was full of numerous issues which we had to resolve, or I had to resolve constantly throughout the process.
Problem number one was finding map material. There were plenty of digital images, but they were often inexact or downright wrong. So he spent time correcting them. Problem number two was picking the right paper and matching up the panels on the globe. Bellaby's studio now produces 200 globes a year, each individually handcrafted and painted. Colorist Isis Linguanotto adds up to 5 layers of watercolor to the globes.
We do a lot of painting beforehand, so if you have like all the panels that form the globe, they all have to be exactly the same color. And the other difficult thing is when we paint afterwards, you're painting in a circle, so it's watercolor, it's water-based, and drips just run all over the place.
But quality comes at a price. The smaller globes produced at the studio cost at least €1,200, the larger ones up to $64,000. Celestial globes are even harder to make. This one is destined for a London businessman. People have been making globes for 500 years, and the craft has a long history in London, the capital of a seafaring nation. The Prime Meridian runs through the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. It divides the world into its western and eastern hemispheres. British sailors have always relied on the country's map makers. And Britain's National Maritime Museum has one of the world's largest and most valuable collections of globes. Hundreds of historical relics are stored here. They're kept in the dark so sunlight doesn't damage them. The museum rarely exhibits them. Today, curator Richard Dunn shows us the museum's most valuable specimen, a globe made by Gerard Mercator in 1541.
This is a tremendously important globe. Gerard Mercator is obviously this giant of cartography. This globe kind of sets the standard for globe production in the 16th century that's followed thereafter. It also helps enormously our understanding of the histories of exploration and navigation in the 16th century and how people understood the world.
For David Yates, today is a very special day. He's the CEO of a London financial firm, and he's ordered a celestial globe from Peter Bellaby to go with the terrestrial one that's long adorned his living room.
I'd been looking around on the internet for a globe, and actually I'd been looking for years and years, and eventually I discovered that Peter was making them. I was absolutely smitten with the idea because, you know, the ability to construct something as personal as this and as beautiful as this, I thought was great. I just see it as a great piece of art.
With Google Maps and GPS, globes aren't a necessity, but that's not what matters to Peter Bellaby.
Google Maps and digital mapping is amazing. I use them every day. It's fantastic to get from A to B. It really helps you do that. But a globe will inspire you to get from A to B, to want to get from A to B, because you can see the world in entirety.